Chosen ones, I want to share with you a story. Many years ago, the truth is I struggled with so many things in life. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I am. So, in my opinion, I always thought that everybody was the same. You know, I thought we were the same, at least even energetically. So, my feelings was always different with other people, but I didn't know that actually we was always different energetically. So, fitting in became a problem. To fit in was a big problem. Why did my classmates say this? Why did they decide that kind of sport? Why do they choose to do this? Or why do they decide to say that? And for me, many things were not adding up. You know that case where you feel like you're different and you just can't relate with people around you, okay? Sometimes you struggle a little bit to fit in. Maybe you try to make friends. And then sometimes when you start having these friends, in a couple of weeks or months, they flip and they turn against you. So they criticize what you do, your life choices, the movies you watch, the way you talk, the clothes you choose to wear. I remember being bullied about certain clothes, okay? So when there was like these occasions, we dress up for an occasion, people would come around, oh, look at him, the way he's dressed and things like that. And sometimes I would be very, very embarrassed, at that young age. Those days was in college. So it seemed like, or it felt like I was doing the wrong thing, okay? But I knew that I was trying my best, okay? I was doing my best, but for some other people, I was doing the wrong thing. The same thing happened with the greater narcissist, with the narcissist actually. The first one that, the long relationship with the narcissist. Very aggressive individual, very pessimistic, lack of empathy. So the relationship always was very bitter because was always two people on the different side of the equation, okay, of the spectrum. I want to go left, they want to go right. When I want to go right, they want to go left. When I want to go to sleep, they want to watch a movie. When I want to watch a movie, they want to go to sleep. So we're always two individuals on the opposite side of the spectrum. So we're always two people living together, but doing different things. So, sometimes it comes to that moment where you feel you're just trying to force something to work. You feel in your soul that something is not working. And you're figuring out so many ways. You wake up every morning with a plan. Maybe tomorrow, this one didn't work yesterday. Let us try to do it another way. When you try that way, it is the wrong way. So these kind of things continued again and again, on and on. This kind of scenarios even played out in family. A lot of you guys, the black sheeps. Your family doesn't agree with your life choices, your decisions. They never want you to speak. Even if you know that you're speaking the truth, they do not want you to speak your truth. And you usually think that these things are a coincidence because you don't know why always people, where does it feel like all these people are fighting against you? But from the inside of you, you know that you are doing the right thing, okay? You are not intending to hurt anyone. You just want to seek out for truth and justice. Maybe extend a helping hand in the community around you. You try to love somebody right. It doesn't work. So the awakening, the real awakening, I could say, of who I am started with the greater narcissist. So when with the greater narcissist, this individual continued the same thing I'd always been seeing over the years. I wasn't just aware of it back in the days, but this time when I met the greater narcissist, I was a little bit awakened because I had awakened after the narcissist entanglement, okay? So the greater narcissist was saying things like, do you know you're a very beautiful person? I say, okay, thank you. And they would carry on and say, you don't even know that, and you don't even know who you are. I wish you knew who you are. Now, for me, I was trying to make sense of everything. Whenever I would sit alone, I would think in my mind, why does this person think? Why do they believe I don't know who I am? So for me, that gave birth to the next question. If they say I do not know who I am, then who am I? And whenever I would sit alone, these would be the things running in my mind. Okay, so who am I? Who am I? I had a lot of those questions. Who am I? And why do I keep on hearing this thing that I do not know who I am? I wish you knew who you are. You're a very beautiful person. You don't even know it. When I ask the person who I am, they would go silent. So things weren't adding up. And like I've told you guys, in that entanglement didn't even last more than 3 months. I started figuring out narcissistic behavior in this individual. And I was on my way. Okay, I was on my way. Now, so when I leave this greater narcissist, who was also a spiritual narcissist, I've told you guys. So I'm sitting there, and there is still one question in my ears. Who am I? Why did that narcissist think that I don't know who I am? So that's when I started to do some research about my characters, personality, what had always been happening around my life. So I didn't even know anything about being an empath. Okay, so me, I didn't know anything about empaths. I knew that I usually was a very good person, but I didn't know about empaths. So one of those days I remember a video came up to me. So I think I was watching about these narcissistic videos, and somebody mentioned something about an empath. So I was like, okay, the narcissist and then the empath. So what about the empath? Who is that? Because I knew that I wasn't a narcissist. I was 100% sure that I was not a narcissist. So I started digging deep into the empath. Who is an empath? And that is when I got this awakening at that time that I'd always been an empath. So when I found out that I was an empath, there is so many things started adding up. It's like I felt all these puzzles fitting. I was like, okay, now I understand why these things, events or whatever situations, circumstances used to happen around me, and I couldn't understand what it was at the time. So I educated myself more about who is an empath. I learned more about myself. I even remember doing some videos back in the days. We're talking about maybe 3.5 years ago. I did videos about empaths. I started understanding about who is an empath. And the more I stepped into my gifts, I also discovered that I was a black sheep of the family, okay? So that's when I got my second awakening in that time. Now, I want to tell you something about these narcissists. Narcissists have done a very big job to hide you from yourself. Not only hiding you from yourself, but also to hide you from other people. Because if you have noticed, when you're with a narcissist, even if it's your parent doesn't want you to relate with other people. They don't want you to go out. If you've been a black sheep of the family, sometime you might have had problems going out somewhere, doing your own thing, being independent. They always wanted you, in that confined in the family home. They was not comfortable with you going out, doing your own thing, breaking free, living independently, making your own decisions. They always wanted to choose the things that you had to do. Okay, so they had to make the life choices for you, especially if you was a kid. And usually, why do also chosen people get usually very bullied in schools? Because you see, chosen people there is this energy around you that wherever you are, it feels like you brighten up this place, okay? You light up the whole place. You know this light, what walks in and it's like everybody else can feel that energy. But you see, sometimes the people that are around you in that time, you may be dealing with sometimes with people who are very low vibrational. If you've been a black sheep of the family, your parents are very low vibrational. If you know that you're a chosen one, you have most likely been dating with a narcissist. So that's the reason why the narcissist, the first thing what they do, they close you off to the outside world, okay? So they want you for themselves. So they trap you, they get you in, they shut the door. And they will make sure that everybody who is around you will leave you so that they can have you for themselves. So that is an attempt to keep you hidden. And you see, a lot of chosen people, they have been kept hidden for ages, for decades. So the world could never know who you are. Okay, the world could never know who you are. I remember even more so. I remember back in the days when I was leaving the unit, the family unit, dysfunctional unit. I felt like everybody was rushing in to suck me back. Okay, the cousins came, oh, you know, you need to come around and this and this. The family members tried to hover me. That time I'd already made my decision, so I refused. Okay, because I knew that if I continue to engage with these individuals, then I can never be able to carry out my purpose, because in one way, shape, or form, they would always influence my decisions like they had always done, okay? Like I've told you, they had always done this for, from day one. So I knew for me to be able to carry out my purpose, I need to first of all step out of this unit, because I cannot continue talking about dysfunctional families, abuse and narcissism and everything like that when I was still part of them. Because, either way, because you're actually connected to them, it will be very difficult for you to be able to speak your mind and to speak your truth. And at that moment, I had chosen my truth. I wanted to stand in my truth and speak my truth. It was my number one priority. Chosen people, you have to know that for you to be able to shine, this is something I've continuously told you. For you to be able to shine, not only shine, but even find your rightful purpose, direction in life, your mission, your assignments, to achieve your goals, there is particular individuals that need to live. I understand you're a very loving person. You're warm, you're kind, you're empathic, you're this beautiful ball of light and everything. There is people around you. The very moment you learn that those people need to live, that is when God is going to actually reveal to you your purpose. So I can promise you that I actually, when I stepped onto this path of helping people, that is the moment when actually I had left the spiritual narcissist, okay, the greater narcissist, in those next couple of months. I kept on doing what I had to do, but at some point in time as well, like I've told you, I awakened from the narcissistic family dynamic. So when I awakened and I left, I felt like a very big release of this energy, because you see, sometimes we are embodying energy that is not ours, it's not our own. And because you're carrying around people's energies, when you wake up, there's a narcissist next door. There's a sociopath somewhere. There's a narcissist here, there's a narcissist there, there's a narcissist in your school, there's a narcissist at your workplace. You are carrying around energy that is not yours. And the more you engage with these individuals, is the more you forget who you are. Because let me tell you something about these toxic people. These toxic people, they will see the truth. The very first time they engage with you, they meet you, they are going to see the truth of who you are. And most of the times, they are going to know who you are even before you know yourself. So they are seeing these qualities that you have got within you that they actually do not possess by themselves, for themselves. And they need to beat down your qualities and make you forget who you are. That's why a lot of times empaths have been just, roaming around the planet, suffering. These narcissists, they take all their money, They take all the big positions in job places, in workplaces. They will push you to go and work in the bins and stuff like that. They will always push you in the corner and make it very impossible for you to survive. But let me tell you something, chosen ones. Energetically, you are the light. It is just that your light has been stolen by these people. Okay? They will break you down and beat you down to make sure that you believe, actually, they want you to believe this, that you're worthless, so that you can stop believing in yourself. And the moment you stop believing in yourself is when you are going to stop to trying to achieve your dreams. You know, you will always settle for less. You know, when it's relationships, you're going to run into these narcissists. You're going to run into these low vibrational people. That is what you're used to. You're going to settle for less. You are actually meant for something greater. You are meant to have beautiful, meaningful relationships. The enemy has been on your case from day one. You cannot know who you are. That is very important for these people. You cannot know who you are. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot of power in knowing thyself. The moment you wake up one day and you know thyself, you figure out who you are going to understand where it is you want to go and where it is you want to be. You are going to figure that this thing is going to come to you naturally. Because for you to be able to open your eyes properly, to find direction in life, there is some people that need to leave, okay? So there is some people with very toxic energy. Those people need to go, chosen ones. I cannot emphasize this enough. Learn. I know it's very difficult. You're very kind and you want everybody around you. Learn this art of releasing people. If a person hurt you yesterday, they are going to hurt you today. They will hurt you tomorrow. They will hurt you the next year. They will not stop. It's simply because that is a cycle. It's a pattern. It's a repeated cycle. They cannot stop. If you allow yourself to be a punching bag, that kind of thing is going to put you in a very low vibrational state, and you'll never be able to achieve your goals. You'll never be able to see where it is you want to go and to achieve your dreams. The enemy is doing a very big work to hide you, not only hide you from yourself, but also to hide you from the people that are most likely going to reveal to you who you are. So they don't want you to meet your tribe. So they want you lost and folded up in the corner so that you can never be able to achieve your dreams. You can never be able to know who you are so that you can achieve your dreams. So the enemy makes sure that they hide you and make you forget who you are. That's what a lot of these narcissistic people do, you know. And when you start looking back in time, you're going to realize that this thing has been carrying on for so many years. You was just not aware of it. It has happened in your family. When you went to your churches, it was the same thing. Your pastors, even some of those pastors were narcissists. You was even more powerful than your pastors. Do you know that some of these chosen ones, you need to start believing in yourself. A lot of you guys who are going into these churches, whatever, you know, I don't say you have to stop going. Like I've told you, we have free will. But a lot of those times, chosen ones, you are even sometimes in churches and you are the ones sitting in the congregation, you are the ones with anointing. The person who is preaching and leading things to you, they're the problem. You don't even know it. So they will make you a follower. People want to make you a follower because they want you to stand behind them. That is what narcissists do. They want you to stand behind them and follow them. They don't want you to lead. When I had this situation with the greater narcissist, it was very clear this individual wanted me to follow behind them. So it's all about power. You know, a lot of these people who are very power hungry, you know, they want to be the leaders here, they want to be the leaders there. They are the wrong people, you know. The ones with the light, with the anointing, they are following behind them. The toxic ones, they're the ones who want to lead. So that's why whenever you go, I've told you many times in my videos, wherever you go and you meet a lot of those individuals, the first thing they are going to figure out, there is something very unique about you. They are going to see that light even before you see it. So what they do now, they very slowly beat you down, okay? So if it's a workplace, for example, they will give you the worst place in that job. So that's where you need to stand. That's where you need to be. So they want you to be coiled up somewhere, doing the most horrible jobs in the environment, and all these other people are going to lead. So they always want you to stand behind them. But in actual sense, you are the leaders. So this is the reason as to why you see a lot of times chosen ones, the moment they start waking up, you know, those kind of people who had always stolen their power, they're the very first people to run away. They are going to distance themselves from them because, you know, a narcissist is very scared the moment a person wakes up and they remember their power. They do not want you to know who you are. They do not want you to remember who you are, because when you remember who you are, the very first thing you're going to distance yourself, you're going to get them out of your life. They know that. So they need to confuse you and put some ideas in you that you're worthless. Is why you see them running away from you. You have awakened and you figure things out, they are going to run away. The spiritual narcissist, the moment I awakened and I figured out who this person was, that was the end. Until today, I've not had a call, I've not seen an SMS. They can't even dare send me an SMS. But when I was with them, they couldn't say a thing, they were silent, you know. That is a sleep empath, you know, because they know, most of the time they know that these empaths, a lot of empaths are asleep actually. So many of these narcissists, they know that a lot of these empaths, they are asleep. So whenever you run into a narcissist, they are going to actually put you further to sleep, because it is that sleep what is going to help them carry on with life very easily around you. You can never know who you are. That's the narcissist intention. So there is very many beautiful souls, empaths, chosen ones, that have always been kept in the dark for decades. And it's time for you to wake up, okay? So let me know if this video resonates. Leave us a comment, like the page, share, subscribe. You may book a session, donate or support my channel if you want to. All the links you need, you will find them in the description below. And until then, I will catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.